Educational Communications and this station present Environmental Directions with Nancy Pearlman. On this series, we explore the effects of human influence on the Earth's ecosystems and discuss solutions to environmental problems which affect the quality of life on this planet. Environmental Directions gives you the kind of information you need to help you participate in decisions impacting your community, the nation, and the world. Now, here's your host, Nancy Pearlman.
Hello, my guest is Sarit Marcus. She is president and founder of Minted Space. She was formerly a strategic business development consultant, also a public education advocate with Downtown Women's Center, and program manager for Jeffrey Modell Foundation. She has numerous certifications, including from the U.S. Green Building Council as a certified lead green associate in interior design and construction, Sustainable Furnishings Council green accredited professional, and she was a top scorer awardee in 2021 for the Wood Furniture Scorecard by the National Wildlife Federation and Sustainable Furnishings Council. She also served as Senior Associate with Noah Mamet and Associates. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Nancy, thank you so much for having me.
You are very involved with sustainability in the furnishings area. You are a member of the United States Green Building Council Florida, and a member of the Sustainable Furnishings Council, a member of the West Shore Business Alliance. How do you define sustainable furnishings?
Sustainable furnishings can include a wide array of materials. Eco-friendly woods is the most common, which consist of woods that are reclaimed and recycled, woods that are sustainably sourced from sustainable plantations, which are fast-growing, and then also woods that are rapidly renewable, which are really fast-growing and mature within 10 years. Other sustainable furnishings and materials include non-toxic textiles and materials such as recycled polyester, LED lighting that are better for your home.
What about recycled materials being utilized for furniture, for other kinds of items we have in our home, whether or not it's picture frames or bookcases?
Yes, so there are so many new innovative technologies to take recycled pre-consumer and post-consumer materials and turn them into something new, to upcycle them. So recycled polyester, there's a company called Reprieve, and they take plastic bottles, and they recycle plastic bottles, and they recycle them, and they turn them into couches and carpets and fabrics and window treatments. It's really innovative, all the different products that are coming out now that are recycled. But even more than the furnishings, you can also outfit your home to be a sustainable home with your appliances.
In other words, getting appliances that are energy efficient, don't waste water, don't waste energy.
Correct. From my perspective, a sustainable home is one that is grounded in environmental awareness, integrity, and social and economic equity. So an ideal sustainable home is one that has an energy efficient HVAC system, has Energy Star appliances, it has water-saving technologies, has improved indoor air quality, uses LED lighting, non-toxic textiles as well as non-toxic house cleaners, reduces single-use plastic, and hopefully even solar panels. And one of the main benefits of an energy-efficient HVAC system is that a home's energy, out of all of the energy that your home uses, about 40 to 50% of that energy comes from your HVAC system, your heating, ventilation, air conditioning system. So investing in an Energy Star rated HVAC can, over the lifetime of the appliance, can save anywhere from 46 to 54% of carbon dioxide emission reductions, which is huge. So just that one change can improve your home's carbon footprint dramatically. And then next on the list would be your home's heat pump water heater, which accounts for about 20% of your home's energy. And if you get an Energy Star rated heat pump water heater, then you're saving about 70% more efficient than the traditional counterpart. And then Energy Star other appliances such as dishwasher, washer, dryer, and refrigerator Those account for about 13% of your home's energy use, and those benefits of Energy Star labeled products are, I think, from 20 to 50% in efficiency. Your lighting accounts for about 12% of your home's energy use. So swapping out your incandescent light bulbs to LEDs is so beneficial because LEDs are 90% more efficient than incandescent light bulbs. And then your electronics, your TV, and other electronics account for about 4% of your home's energy use. So a great way to try to reduce your energy consumption is just unplug them when they're in idle mode, because they still consume energy even when they're in standby mode. So just those changes in terms of what you outfit your home with in terms of appliances can really reduce your carbon footprint. But obviously the materials and furnishings that you put in your home also.
You're talking about the built environment, the home, and let's not forget that the outdoor environment should include native plantings to be encouraging to have wildlife come and visit us.
Absolutely. Having native plants is so important also because they're also, to know which plants require less water and encourage that natural habitat. And also in bringing the outdoors in, which is a big trend in design. It was more so in commercial, but it's really finding its way into residential homes, especially with the pandemic and people feeling a little claustrophobic in the home, bringing that biophilic design in. So having that connectivity with nature in your home, whether it's through feature walls like green living walls or having house plants, having skylights for natural light. There's a lot of ways that you can make your house a more natural and healthy space. Talking about textiles it's a huge way to improve your indoor air quality. There's obviously ways to improve it through having air filters, air purifiers, and having plants, but then also eliminating all of these hidden toxins in our house. The Sustainable Furnishings Council, former executive director Susan Inglis, calls them the hazardous handful, and it's VOCs, PFAs, antimicrobials, flame retardants, and PVCs. And these are all very commonly found in textiles. And there's a lot of ways that we can move away from them to improve both our environmental health as well as our personal health.
And having those toxins in our textiles, whether or not it's the bedding, it's the upholstery, we need to eliminate that because that creates a bigger fire hazard as well.
It absolutely does. So according to the EPA, indoor air quality is 5 times worse than outdoor air quality. And a big reason for that is, these toxins. And so these flame retardants that are commonly found in sofas and foam and upholstery, there's actually no proof that they stop the spread of fire. But what there is proof is that they're very dangerous to our health. All of those 5 toxins that I listed have dangerous health ramifications such as cancer and neurological delays, respiratory issues.
It's difficult, though, for the average person to decipher the difference between all these new buzzwords: sustainability, eco-friendly, fair trade, green. Are they really interchangeable?
So sustainability is such an umbrella word. In the broad sense, I don't think that there's an actual one defined definition, but in the broad sense, it's people, planet, profit. It's environmental, economic, and social sustainability. The definition for it that is commonly used is that it meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet those needs. What falls under the sustainability term is conservation, deforestation, global warming, toxic pollutants, indoor air quality, health and wellness, local economy, social equity, and extinction. And that's a big array of terms that fall under sustainable. So there can be a lot of greenwashing when people say something is sustainable. And something being sustainable is not necessarily the same as it being eco-friendly. So when something is eco-friendly, from my understanding, is that it just means that it's less harm to the environment. It has a less negative impact on the environment. I do think that the terms eco-friendly and green are interchangeable. Back when I was working in Los Angeles in the early to mid 2000s, we used green all the time. Green build, green tech, which now I think is the same as eco-friendly. I believe I read that the term that consumers are most comfortable with is environmentally safe. that that's the term that they connect with the most. And then next would be eco-friendly.
We will get used to all these new words as we try to make our homes, our businesses, our offices, our schools sustainable. Is there a stronger movement for people to change their homes, or is the sustainability efforts really being adopted in new construction?
From all of the different studies and surveys that I have read, people are caring about sustainability so much, not just in terms of the new construction, but also retrofitting and making their current homes more sustainable, as well as implementing sustainable living practices even when they leave the house. A lot of that is because of Gen Z, and they are ethical consumers, and they want the brands that they represent to have a mission behind it. They want to know that you have an aligned cause that is contributing to a better society. Use non-toxic products. So for your home cleaning products, you can do a lot of DIY products. Stay away from ammonia and bleach and fragrances. When you are buying new bedding, as you mentioned, finding products that are certified. So there's a lot of certifications right now to help consumers easily identify what is safe for the environment and also safe for themselves and their families. Certifications for furniture like Green Guard Gold, for textile like the GOT and Okio-Tex, Cradle to Cradle, Declare. Also in your paint, if you're repainting your walls, look for a paint that has low to zero VOC.
If I am looking for furnishings, I like to go in, feel, touch, see, measure, but yet you have an online service. How does that work?
Yes. So especially during the pandemic, it was important for me to make it easier for people who want to have more eco-friendly products in their home and to speak with their purchasing power, to make that more accessible. I wanted to ensure a way that people could easily find products that are sustainable. And so with my eco guide, you have icons for every product that will show you, is this natural material? Is it sustainably sourced? Is it FSC certified? Is it rapidly renewable? Is it fair trade? Is it handmade? And so not all of my products have all of those icons, not by any means. And some just are not negative towards the environment, but we offer carbon neutral shipping as well.
You provided many ideas of how to make our homes more sustainable. Any more tips you want to share?
Yes, there are. In addition to implementing those sustainable strategies in your home and avoiding toxic products and being an ethical consumer, striving for zero waste living, or at least reducing your dependency on single-use plastics in your house and outside of your house. And outfit your kitchen with glass containers or with reusable silicone bags versus just the throwaway single-use plastic. When you're ordering takeout, ask them to not give you the plastic utensils because you're probably going to be eating it at your house. In your bathroom, put a recycling bin in every bathroom, and you'll be surprised at how much you're diverting from going to the landfill. Replace single-use cotton pads with reusable cotton pads. Strive for zero plastic deodorants and aluminum-free deodorants, which are better for you. You can participate in a community garden or grow your own garden. Use your food scraps for compost. Support local. Try to also buy locally sourced products, which are within a 250-mile range. Awareness, I would say, is so important. For the first step to this is awareness of what you're buying, how you're using it, and how you're discarding it, and trying to contribute to a circular economy so that what you're buying does, at the end of its lifetime, it is able to be put back into this circular economy, whether it's through upcycled or recycled. And then just the very simple basics of just walk or bike instead of drive if you have that option, and spend time out in nature.
You have many of these ideas on your website, mintedspace.com.
Yes, I do have a lot of these suggestions on our blog.
I want to thank you so very much for helping us develop and achieve personal and environmental wellness through sustainable and eco-friendly home design and decor. Thank you for being my guest.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for having me on your show. It was an absolute pleasure.
I have been speaking with Sarit Marcus, who is president and founder of Minted Space. I'm Nancy Perlman. Thank you very much for joining us, and do tune in again next week.
If you would like free information about these environmental issues, go to www.ecoprojects.org or call 310-559-9160. Environmental Directions with your host, Nancy Perlman, is a community affairs program of the nonprofit organization Educational Communications and this station.